Welcome back everyone, it's FNWho's57 here. I am back on Neverwinter on the Xbox One, and today I will be going over what's new and the patch notes with mod 10.5, better known as the Sea of Moving Ice. So this has been out for a little bit on PC, but it's new as far as consoles concerned. At the end of the video and in the description I will leave a link to the actual form patch notes, so if you wish to read them because a lot has changed, you are welcome to do so. Hopefully this makes it a little easier for people to find. Now the first thing you'll notice is the actual Sea of Moving Ice zone. That's a new playable zone. There's a bunch of new stuff to do in it. As you can see, I'm actually showing off a few things that you can do. First of all, I'm in the Sea of Moving Ice, which is this entire huge area. This is all the Sea of Moving Ice. Secondly, there is sea travel via these kayaks, something else I am showing off, currently using the green one. You can earn a regular one and a green one just by doing the quest line, and an epic one later on. There's also new heroic encounters and a few of other little things that you can do in here. And then fishing, of course. You can now actually go fishing, which is a completely new thing, unlike the fishing in the Winter Festival. So yeah, I'm kind of showcasing that as well. With that being said, there's new dailies for you to do. There is an expansion to the Storm King's Thunder campaign, and if you wish to see a video on what you actually need to do in this particular zone, I will post that a little bit later. But if you go into your campaigns, it is under the Storm King's Thunder campaign. You will now see that basically what was frozen before is unfrozen, giving you 4 more tasks for you to do and 2 more boons. Now it's going to take you a while to get those unlocked and everything, but yeah, that's new. Plus we get basically new types of keys for a new skirmish, which you can go over to queues and you can see the skirmish even if you don't have it unlocked yet, which is the assault on, I believe it's like Savborg. Most people just call it trials. You have the regular one, which is 2.8k item level and 28% Everfrost resist after you unlock it. And then you have the Master, which is 3.2k item level, 28% Everfrost resist, and you must complete Fangbreaker Island just to meet the queue requirements for that. So that's the new skirmish. Inside this zone, there are multiple new heroic encounters that will reward you with some pretty nice stuff. They spawn over basically on the right hand side of the map, in addition to a new set of dailies for you to do. There are new rewards available for you, some new stuff coming out of dungeons, some new stuff coming out of the zones, including stuff coming out of fishing, a lot of new stuff coming out of fishing. In the addition to your relic weapons are now available, and it is possible to get, I think it's like vivified or vilified, however you want to pronounce it, gear, which is a upgraded version of the standard relic gear. So all of that's out, as well as some specific dungeon loot. Now with that, I should mention the update that everybody feared, and I have yet to be able to fully test, is out as well. So you will notice when you log in that you have a new tab called Useful Items. This was basically my idea for the key ring, only expanded. So you have all of your keys in here, whether it be dungeon keys, lockbox keys, zone keys, everything. You have all of that. You have your tools, so like your fishing pole from the Winter Festival, the trowel, black ice pick, your kayak, everything goes into this tab. So it freed up some inventory space, which is really nice. However, whenever you use one of these keys, whenever you go to open the chest, the key is consumed. There is no more being able to look in the chest and then cancel the interaction and be able to save the key. So keep that in mind. Now, They said that you get better loot. However, so far I haven't been able to fully test it, but I've run 2 Castle Nevers, 2 Lair of Lost Mouths, 6 Prophecy of Madness, and 2 Throne of the Dwarven Gods, and then 1 Shores of Torrent. And all I have gotten from that is the same old basic junk, the +1, +2, and a couple +3s. I haven't gotten any new +5s or any new gear yet. However, if you look on the auction house, the price of artifacts has been dropping, which indicates that somehow people are getting more of these. So maybe you're having better luck with it than I am. I don't personally know, but that's something that I'll have to test further. Now, the other thing that people were a little bit upset about, actually some more than others, was the removal of the legacy set bonuses. So your High Prophet set, your High Vizier set, Knight's Captain, all of the Mod 5 armor sets now no longer have their buff set bonus from it, unfortunately, which they say was to rein in runaway power, but I believe it was just to keep us from being able to farm quickly and make diamonds quickly. We covered the dungeon key changes. There was some content and environment updates for the Elemental Evil, the last quest to complete correctly. A few general things for Icewind Dell. The return on investment quest can now be abandoned, which is very nice. It's awesome. Several instance maps, minor visual tweaks. Then there's been a lot of stuff changed for the combat and powers. I'm only going to touch on this. You can read through it. The Guardian Fighter was changed. It received a change to Commander's Strike. Hunter Ranger was changed. Plant Growth now correctly ticks 4 times. Previously, it dealt its damage over fewer damage ticks than it should have. Plant Growth now roots players for half its duration rather than full, so that helps with the permastun. Players can no longer swap stances, while Forest Ghost locks out powers. Split the Sky now properly activates effects that are triggered by encounter powers. So they really didn't have a lot change. Now this is the one that everybody has been worried about, and of course I'm on my control wizard, so I'm not really going to be showcasing it, but this is for the Paladin. And this is up to you. I'm still testing to see if I can make the Paladin good, but unfortunately they got a pretty heavy nerf and change. You did get a free retraining token, but that's kind of a slap in the face for crashing how the builds work. Absolution's been changed. Absolution has actually been made better. Bane now properly builds action points, so you will get action points from it. Banishment no longer makes targets immune to damage when the control component is resisted, so that's kind of a good thing, I suppose. Now, what's a bad thing is Binding Oath. Binding Oath now has the following effect. For 5 seconds, nearby enemies are forced to attack you, and you gain 100% of your maximum hit points as a shield. When this effect expires, the shield is depleted. Foes within 30 foot take 100% of the damage that was taken by the shield, and you take 50% of that damage. Additional ranks increase the duration of the shield by 1 second. Binding Oath previously had the following effect, and I liked it better this way. Nearby targets are forced to attack you for 2 seconds. During this time, you absorb all damage dealt to you. When this effect expires, you take 50% of the damage and deal 20% to all foes in a 30-foot area. That's better because the maximum amount of damage that Binding Oath could absorb was basically infinite. Now the maximum damage that Binding Oath can absorb is literally whatever your HP is. So on a Paladin, now it's very important to stack HP because, yeah, that's the only way Binding Oath is actually useful. Now, Binding Oath also properly taunts. Binding Oath's damage component now affects a maximum of 5 targets, consistent with other area of effect powers. This is bad. It means you can only hit 5 targets around you, not more. Binding Oath's tooltip no longer incorrectly states that an affected player deals 75% less damage to targets other than the paladin. That's just a tooltip change. Circle of Power. The effect of Circle of Power now lasts 10 seconds, down from 20 seconds. The cooldown on Circle of Power has been reduced to 28 seconds from 60 seconds. In accordance with this adjustment, additional ranks of this power now grant +2 additional seconds to the effect per rank, down from 4. Additional effects gained by Circle of Power when the Paladin has Oath of Devotion or Oath of Protection, 30% more outgoing healing, and 25% damage resistance, respectively, are now also granted to allies standing within the circle. This does not stack with multiple Circles of Power. That's kind of cool. I like it. Divine Protector. Divine Protector now redirects 60% of the damage taken by nearby allies, down from 100%. The damage reduction effect on the Paladin has been increased to 60% from 50%. Basically, they killed the Bubble Paladin with this. Even if you can perma-bubble, it's only going to be a 60% damage reduction, so you might as well have a Guardian Fighter with Knight's Valor. Sacred Weapon got changed. Sanctuary got changed a little bit. This power now grants 80% damage resistance for those who have taken the Oath of Protection, increased from 60%. Vow of Enmity, additional ranks, it doesn't have to be toggled on and off, and several other tooltips were cleared up. The Scourge Warlock got changed, Tyrannical Threat got changed on it. Trickster Rogue, Impossible to Catch, now triggers effects that activate on encounter power use. Boons, the Dread Ring. Augmented Daean Bastion can no longer set up a potential infinite loop of reflected damage, so Magic Mirror build is out. Storm King's Thunder, the required stat count of Chill of Winter has been reduced to 10, down from 50. That's the one, if I go over to my boons, I can show you real quick. Storm King's Thunder, it's Chill of Winter. When striking a foe, you have a chance to gain a stack of Icy Chill. At 10 stacks, your next clears the stacks and releases a burst of damage. Okay, that used to take 50 stacks to get, which was almost impossible to do. So now it's actually a more useful boon, which is, in my opinion, really nice. Several companions have had changes. Expert Striker, Expert Controller, Expert Defender, Expert Leader have been adjusted to increase your companion's class stats by 10%. Master Striker, Master Controller, Master Defender, Master Leader have been adjusted to increase your companion's class stats by an additional 10%. Additional defenses have been added to Master Striker. Companions with Expert Controller now create less threat. The Ambush Drake, this companion deadly infection debuff no longer scales with power. It properly shows the duration. The Harper Bard, Song of Rest, now properly increases the owner's maximum health by 10%. The Dragon Cultist got changed, and the Shadow Demon companion's outgoing damage output has been adjusted to be more in line with other companions. So kind of general crap. Mounts. Active mount powers, or activating mount powers, are more responsive. This only helps you if you have a legendary mount, but it's like the Tensor's Disc. When you activate it, it's almost instantaneous as opposed to taking a couple seconds, which is really, really good. The Moonbear's mount insignia combination was changed, and that's basically about it for mounts. The effects that activate when non-critical damage is dealt, such as the Owlbear Cub's active companion bonus, now only activate once per power use. That was the nerf that was coming to the Owlbear. The final chest in Fangbreaker Island is now a little less chill and properly reads as epic instead of epique, which is stupid. Permafrost cast no longer allows players to cast certain powers normally usable under control effects. Basically a couple other changes, including the glitches being taken out of Fangbreaker Island. And that's basically it for Fangbreaker Island. There's a couple other changes for general. There's a few changes for items in the economy, changes to the artifact weapons. I'm not going to go through that because I will let you read it. There's a lot of different changes, a little bit extra power, a little bit extra recovery, things like that. Unfortunately, altars have been changed. This is something that I don't agree with. The following altar items now vanish when the player who summoned them enters combat: the Hero's Feast, the Mechanical Altar, and the Portable Altar. So you can't like lay an altar down and then enter combat. It's really annoying. A new enchantment is available in the Sea of Moving Ice called the Wicked Enchantment. For offensive slots, it gives armor pen and recovery. Defense is deflect and HP. Utility is movement, speed, and bonus gold. Kind of useless. Dual stat enchantments: brutal, cruel, savage, vicious, now properly have higher stat values at rank 3 than rank 2, which was, basically non-existent because nobody ever used rank 2. The Frost weapon enchantment no longer provides more damage than expected when other buffs are active. Blood Theft armor enchantment, a minor typo, has been addressed. The Frostburn enchantment, that's an armor enchantment. This enchantment now has an internal cooldown. Stupid on that. Tooltips on the Black Ice Overload enchantments have been made clearer. No functional changes to those. Visual weapon and armor enchantments no longer display while the player is stealthed. Companion-only enchantments are no longer incorrectly activated when equipped by players. Same thing for player-only enchantments equipped by companions. Now there's another task to create various artifact element weapons in the professions. And that's basically it. There's new Stronghold and Overload enchantments effective against trolls and giants. A few updates to the auction house to make it a little bit cleaner. A few updates to boons, general chat, some inventory things, and that's it. Also powers can no longer be swapped out while on a kayak, except that's pretty stupid because they were never able to be swapped out while on a kayak. Like I said, the rest I will leave a queue for you to read. It's all graphical improvements and things like that. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, please make sure that you leave a comment. Otherwise, go ahead and smash the like button, share the video, and hopefully this helps out with people finding out what was changed in this actual update. Until next time, have fun and stay frosty.